I'm Renee. Did you start this video looking for a 5-step plan to your heart's desire? How many times have you gone into YouTube looking for those 5 easy steps to achieve something? I think we've all done it. I've done it. I've absolutely done it. Often, multiple times a day. I have some news for you. I don't have the 5 easy steps to your heart's desire. But I think if you'll stick with me, I have something better. Hang on, and I'll explain. We'll get there. Have you ever wanted something so badly, but had absolutely no idea how to get there? Not just logistically, truly no idea how to get there. You had no plan, no map, no visible next step, just at a total loss of where to go or what to do. All you have is the desire, the wanting for the thing or the place or the situation. Just have the wanting. So the mind wants a map. It wants blueprints. It wants timelines and checklists, to-do lists. It wants logistical steps to get from point A to point B. And when the map doesn't exist, when we don't have that level of clarity and those next steps or that to-do list doesn't exist, the mind panics. It contracts. It tells you that you can't move. You can't move until you can see the pathway. It literally will stop you in your tracks. Oh, I know my mind is almost euphoric every time I create a to-do list or a plan for a client. It just gets absolutely giddy with that feeling of knowing all the steps to do. Ridiculous, but it does. That's the mind. But what happens in these instances where we're struck with this deep desire for something and we can't figure out the steps or the plan? The key is in the heart. The heart operates completely different. It's a completely different intelligence in the heart. You see, the heart is holding your wanting. So the heart already knows the frequency of your desire, the frequency of what you want, the frequency of that destination, whatever it is. Your heart already knows. Your heart doesn't need a map. That's not how it works. Your heart just needs resonance. Let me explain. So, in the spring of 2024, I had just lived through the most devastating year of my life. My beloved Todd died suddenly. Several months later, my father passed away in early 2024. And then literally 30 days later, his wife was gone. And 2 months after that, I lost a very dear friend. And 4 profound losses in 10 months, and my rational mind had nothing left to give. It had no map, it had no blueprint, it had no way to think my way through what was next for me. It had no way to think its way through that kind of grief. It was overwhelming. And there were days when I thought that grief would swallow me whole. But in that emptiness, not despite it, but because of it, something else took over. Spirit actually reminded me of a dream I had carried since childhood. A little girl listening to her great-grandfather play his fiddle, play his violin, and talk about his homeland, France. And the feeling in her that developed over time, that feeling in her bones that became this feeling of France being home. I hadn't thought my way to that feeling. It just became this knowing. It just was. I had carried that frequency my whole life. Every time I visited France, I would remember it. I would feel like I was home again. And then in early 2024, amidst all of the loss and devastation, Spirit, through the help of a friend, allowed me to remember that resonance. France reminded me of it. France showed up and said, knock, knock, I've been waiting. She reminded me that she's been waiting my entire life. You see, I didn't find France. France found me because I was finally empty enough, empty of all of the mind's agenda. I was finally empty enough to feel the resonance I had always carried. Within months, I had packed my life, my dog Paolo, and we moved to France. At 61 years old, I moved to France on my own. Not because I had a plan, but because I trusted a feeling. And that feeling lived deep in my bones. It was a knowing. So I want to invite you to go inward. Sit with these questions. What is your heart's desire right now? Not what your mind is trying to figure out. Figure out how to achieve or accomplish. Not that. What does your body already know is true? What frequency have you been carrying, perhaps your whole life, that your mind keeps trying to map its way toward, and it can just never find its way down the path? But your heart knows. What dream lives within your heart? What frequency is waiting to be lit up in your heart? You see, the path is not a road you find. It is a resonance you become. Your heart already knows the way. Trust it. Trust your heart. Okay, in closing, I want to leave you with a couple of questions. Where are you asking your mind to build a bridge it cannot see? I know for me right now, my honest, difficult answer to that question is my mind's trying to build a bridge to a future intimate partnership, a relationship, a loving relationship. It's trying to build that map. Oh, if I do these steps, then someone will appear. Ridiculous. The answer, my heart knows the way. My heart knows the way. So, where are you asking your mind to build a bridge to something it cannot see? What would it feel like to already be there? Not someday, but right now, even for just one breath, to be there. I often, throughout my day, because I desire a relationship again, and I will sit with these noticings. I'll notice couples holding hands, and I'll just take a moment, take a breath, and feel that what would it feel like to be walking aside someone holding their hand? Just for a moment. Whatever it is that you desire, just be with it for a moment. The other thing I used to remember after I made the decision to move to France, I would put myself in this kind of future casting, sitting in a cafe, conversing in French with other people, and just hold that for a minute as though it were true right then and there. And I really truly feel like that has helped me attract and bring in friends and to be able to have those very situations in my life today. What desire have you been trying to think your way into that is waiting for you to simply feel your way home? What desire have you been trying to think your way into? Because it's waiting for you to simply feel your way home. Okay, I'm going to leave you there for today. I wish you all your desires and all of the goodness that life has to bring. And with that, I will say, a bientôt.